have joined already. And we're just going to record this. So if you have friends, colleagues, and people you want to share this with, we'll be sharing this and posting it on our website. But we'll get started in just a few moments. We'll let more folks join. It's still a minute before 11, but thanks for coming on early. Appreciate you guys being the eager ones and early adopters to hop on and join us today. So we'll start in a few moments. Tim, you excited for this?
What are you asking me?
I am. I'm asking you.
Very excited. Yeah, I've got a whole galaxy behind me.
That's great. Yeah. No, you guys have been working hard to get ready for this, so it's good.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a moment, let some more people join, and then we'll kick it off.
Cool.
It's always that awkward silence at the beginning of webinars.
Everyone's staring at the same picture.
Yes, exactly. And like, who are these two guys? There are a lot of people who know us as well that are on. So, all right.
You could put music, Jason.
I know we should have music next time. That we'll do that. We'll do that. Thank you, Bhavna. That's a great suggestion. Okay, cool. So we're going to get started. I'm Jason Masciarelli. I run go-to-market for Launchpad, and excited to have you all on today, and appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. Today's topic, if you don't already know, and you should, is creating agentic workflow products. So there's a lot happening, obviously, in the space around B2B SaaS and how SaaS companies are able to build AI and agentic capabilities into their products, and really trying to struggle to figure that out. And so we thought it'd be timely for us to run this webinar today, really to give you some insights in terms of a path forward to quickly build agentic workflow products. We're teamed up with AWS for this, and work closely with them on really trying to help software companies accelerate development of new capabilities and new features, as well as new products, and take those to market. And so the timing of this being in September is perfect, because as you start to plan out the future for your product for next year and your revenue plan, I think that you're going to get some ideas here that potentially could have some pretty significant impact in your 2026 numbers. And if you move really fast and you want to work quickly with us, feel free to reach out to me, and happy to talk about maybe even trying to have impact on your 2025 year end. But let's get into it. So the agenda for today is I'll quickly go through some intros. Obviously, we've got a few folks on that are much better at this and more qualified than I am to present the content. And so we'll do introductions, and then we've got Jared on from AWS to talk a bit about AI market trends, what's happening, why agentic is so important, and kind of the roadmap and where we are today. And then we'll step right into kind of the promise of what today's session is all about, which is really how to build an agentic workflow. And so I had thought about having kind of a definition of what one is, but I thought, why not, let's just show it to you, and then I think you'll get a sense of what we mean by agentic workflows. There's a lot of definitions out there, but really at the end of the day, I see it as moving from a SaaS or a software application that tracks and manages work to really going and getting the work done, and really starting to move towards that vision of more of an autonomous workflow, which is really kind of the future of where this stuff is going to eventually head. And then at the end, we'll talk about upcoming events to kind of continue to create some momentum and give you ideas on how to continue to drive this forward. And then we'll do Q&A and wrap up. So we'll get into it. So I've already introduced myself. I also run our corporate venture fund. So we work closely with a lot of startups that are building on Launchpad. And so again, I run go-to-market, and I'm excited to have Jared Dean join us today from AWS, and appreciate him taking the time over the last several weeks to prepare for this. He's a principal solutions architect with AWS and works closely with us around AI and agentic capabilities. Bhavna is going to be leading us through a big piece of the demo, and is on our is a director on our product management team. And then Tim Miranda is part of our Launchpad provider success team, working with people to basically, or providers that are building on Launchpad, to help them be successful and really maximize the impact that they can get from the platform. So with that, we'll get into the content. Jared?
Thank you so much for having me today. So the kind of set the stage here, one of the things we're seeing from a market trend is an explosion in models. And so this slide here is just to kind of illustrate that in 2024, there was more than 100 AI large language models that were kind of built in the market, which contributed to more than 5,000 derivatives. So there's kind of an explosion of large language models and choice here, and everyone's clamoring to kind of do something agentic, to be part of this generative AI trend. If we can go to the next slide, I want to talk a little bit about the what we're seeing from an intelligence perspective. So the graph here, just to explain for just a moment. So this is the MMLU benchmark, which is essentially a 15,000 question multiple choice test from about 60 different domains. So there's legal, there's history, there's engineering, etc. And so if we look at where large language models were from intelligence benchmark back in 2019, they're basically at 25%, which is essentially guessing. If when we do this MMLU benchmark with humans, we see that kind of the average high school college student generally scores in the 40 to 50% range. And then if you have advanced education in a particular field, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you're a PhD in history, then you'll score in the 90% range for your particular domain. And so what we observe here in this chart is that over the last 6 years, we see that these large language models are now able to be proficient at approximately the PhD level, the expert level, in these various domains. And so the intelligence has gone up, considerably over the last 5 years, which then makes them more capable in using them for these types of applications, like in Launchpad that we're trying to do and automate some of these tasks. As we look at the trends that we have, kind of in how AI is working with us, prior to 2022, most of the machine learning and artificial intelligence work was largely around helping do predictions. So is a customer going to churn? Is a transaction fraudulent, et cetera? In 2023, and with the ChatGPT kind of explosion of the consumer market, we see, now we're trying to use artificial intelligence to assist us in doing some tasks, helping generate email content, helping write my term paper at the end of the semester. 2025, we're looking at kind of collaboration. And so how can we work hand in hand and offload some of the tasks that we do that are kind of routine, that we would like to offload so we can spend more time on higher value work. And then we see kind of a trend forward. We're looking in the 2028 timeframe approximately, where we think that we'll be able to hand off, kind of entire tasks or trust artificial intelligence and generative AI enough to kind of do routine tasks more autonomously. So that's what we're kind of looking at from a trends and progress perspective.
Awesome. And what do you mean by AI pioneers? Is that like the autonomous vision I was talking a little bit about?
Yeah, I mean, I think different people have different definitions, but the way I kind of view that is that we can give instructions competently, and that an agentic workflow can be executed successfully at scale with minimal human oversight.
Got it. That's helpful. Thank you.
So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of the value and what we've seen. So just a brief history lesson here as we think about how, again, I work at AWS, and so cloud is a big part of my day. And so if we think about kind of how cloud, the value chain for cloud evolved, 15 years ago when cloud was nascent, a lot of the value was created at the infrastructure level or at the provider level, and the applications there was very little there was less value in that chain. If we go forward to kind of how that looks today, if we advance this, the end of my cool animation, this is the extent of my PowerPoint skills. If we look at how cloud is today, it's this now inverted triangle where most of the value that's being created in cloud comes from the applications, like the things that that I believe you're going to be building, here in Launchpad in your flows. That's where you're going to create value for your customers, and then the infrastructure, the value of the infrastructure and the semiconductor layers have diminished. If we then take this idea and look at AI. Today, I think we're in a similar place as that cloud triangle 15 years ago, in that most of the value being created now is not at the application layer, but it is being created at the lower levels. I think the question in everyone's mind is how many years from now will we see that triangle invert? I'm going to predict that it's going to be far less than 15. And I think it's going to be, just probably a handful of years or so before that triangle inverts. And the large amount of value that's being created is going to come with the application layer, which are the things that, again, Launchpad enables customers to build.
Yeah, no, this is a great representation. And I see it as like really this big opportunity of shifting from apps that manage work to actually executing and doing the work. It's a much bigger market that we keep hearing about, right? It's more of this kind of services software, right? Where the software is actually executing more of this. And so that naturally drives the value up of that app layer. And so that's really what we're here to talk about today in terms of how do you really progress quickly to that point where you can actually deliver more value and greater outcomes for your clients at that application layer. So this is good.
So, and then just kind of the evolution of into our agentic AI. Here's how we kind of see those trends. In that, again, just kind of a repeat of what we've been seeing is that generative AI is assisting where we on the left hand side, and then we're moving to agents. And I'd say we're kind of in that phase now where where in certain applications in certain industries we have an agent that will do a fairly narrow task, and then moving progressing into more agentic systems where agents communicate with other agents, or agents are more trusted to do more tasks. Again, moving from more human involvement, more oversight, into less human involvement, less oversight, which then allows the productivity gains to be had by your human capital workforce. And then I couldn't do a market slide if I didn't have some Gartner. And so here's just a couple of trends from Gartner to illustrate kind of the point of that. In 2024, less than 1% of enterprise software included agentic AI. And from these survey results, they expect 33% by 2028. So just a tremendous growth and increase there, as well as the percentage of decision making that will be done by autonomous systems, would be up to almost 15%. So you think, more than 1 in 10 of the decisions you make today would be offloaded into some kind of agentic system in the next few years.
Wow. So that represents a massive opportunity in terms of enterprise software apps. So product companies today, this means that they've got a huge opportunity if they are aggressive in building out some of these things to really be part of that 33% by 2028. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. I just want to remind folks that we're live and we're taking questions. So feel free to drop questions into the Q&A, and then we'll hit those at the end. So feel free to drop those in, and we'll keep going. And from here, thank you, Jared. Appreciate it. And Bhavna, if you can take it over and walk us through kind of a real world example of how we can build out a agentic workflow product as just an example of the many things that someone could do to kind of build a new product around agentic for their software business.
Sure, Jason. Thank you. And thank you, Jared, for setting the context. As you mentioned, every repetitive task in users' workflow is an opportunity for AI and agentic workflow. And that's true that we are hearing agentic AI will change the way we do business, right? And it's going to change how organizations operate. However, the actual adoption is not fast enough. It's very low from clients. And why is that? Why enterprises are adopting it as fast as Jason said? They should be taking advantage, and this is a great opportunity. It's because of the compliance, risk, governance, and unreliability of agents, which is a major barrier of agentic AI adoption. Just think about it. You can't have an AI agent doing a credit check every time following a different process in the loan application request that comes to you. There has to be a way to guide what AI agents deliver in terms of automation and experience, but all backed by predictability and governance. Launchpad takes a very unique approach by baking AI agents into your workflows. What if you could leverage agentic AI to unlock the power of agents to increase the automation and experience for your end users with the governance, with orchestration and predictability of the workflows? To even just start with, Launchpad delivers predictability by using our design agents, which uses AI reasoning power at design time to create workflows in collaboration with you, with human always in loop. And then you can deploy these predictable AI agents at runtime, which uses the semantic power of AI to fulfill the request by finding and executing the exact workflow. Using Launchpad, you can turn any workflow into self-service experience, which is conversational and multi-channel. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Unlike other agentic architectures, Launchpad orients the AI agents towards work and outcomes. What this means? This means that instead of creating new waves or processing the work for every request that comes, your agents are instantly powered by your trusted workflows. And there is another exciting capability that I want to talk about is agent steps in our case lifecycle. So besides just empowering agents with workflow, part of what is coming in Launchpad is also empowering your workflows with agents, where you can leverage this new agent step in your case lifecycle to enable the developers to configure Launchpad or any third-party AI agents to automate tasks as steps in your existing workflow. Tasks like research, document analysis, tasks like reading and summarizing. These can be tasks throughout your end-to-end workflows. And I'm going to show you all of this with an example of a fintech company, FinFlow, that wants to build an application for home loan approval. And as I walk through this, I will start our Launchpad journey with an idea of what I want in my application. We will refine this and make this agentic workflow. We will also add powerful AI agents into this workflow. And then we will preview this application, how it looks like for our end user and how it will look like in different channels. And then Tim Miranda, my colleague, will help me deploy this application, take it go live, and drive the adoption.
Great.
So let me.
So
Bhavna,
this is great. So basically, so just to recap, so FinFlow is like a almost like a case study example software company that has an existing business, they have existing clients, and they want to build an agentic workflow product around mortgage process. And basically, you're going to take us through how that company could quickly build that and then take that to market as a repeatable solution. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
All right, fine. You can take over the drive and let's see it.
All right. Are you able to see my Launchpad development portal environment?
Got it. Yeah.
So as I mentioned, this is in Launchpad IO. This is our development portal where it provides you a developer experience where you can start building your application by just describing what you want to create. So in this example, let's ask our Launchpad AI assistant to build an application which is focused on high-value home loan origination, and it's targeting pre-approvals in the United States and focusing on minimum value of 1.5 million. So this is great. I'm going to submit this prompt and see how our design agents are taking this information, applying the internal best practices of Launchpad, and integrating the knowledge it gains around this industry from the LLM. And it's starting to ask me that, is this looking right? Do you want me to go ahead and build this application? So I'm going to ask it to go ahead and create this banking application for pre-approval of home loans. While it's generating this application, I just want to highlight that as you can see how it speeds up the journey from a concept to a functional application design, which is built on Launchpad's center-out architecture. And it's loading this application. You can see here, it puts the AI-powered decisioning, workflow automation, and case management at the center, allowing you to focus on the application, creating the business logic, like Jared was mentioning in the pyramid. You are more focusing on the outcomes and the workflows, what you need. And you can handle the channel independence through the DX APIs and the data virtualization through our live data capabilities, where you can integrate with external records, you can create local data model. So let's dive a little deeper into this. As you can see, this is an application homeland for organization FinFlow that can offer to subscriber and expand on its SaaS offering. I'm going to walk through some of the artifacts that are generated within this blueprint and the functional design of the application. So here are the personas. It created mortgage advisor, underwriter. This is looking great. I am going to look at some of the live data and integration capabilities. I can integrate these data types and the data fields into my case and workflow. So this is great. Let's look at some of the workflow capabilities. So if I go ahead and the design agent did generate multiple workflows. I want to focus and dive a little deeper into the home loan case type. So as you can see here, this is our case life cycle, the backbone of a workflow where there are stages and steps capturing the important business logic and the automation that I want to offer in this application. I can see mortgage application where I'm collecting the information from the borrower, verification of the data is also happening, and then assessment before the approval and the rejections of the loan. And it did integrate the generative AI capability in the verification of data step as well. So this is a very powerful capability that I want to highlight. In Launchpad, we offer the generative AI through a connection AI rule, which is a great interface where you don't have to worry about infrastructure or non-functional aspects when you are interacting with LLM. You only focus on the outcome of the generative AI and the response you get. So in this example, I'm asking it to summarize and W2 that's going to be uploaded by the applicant, identify all the information to be able to make informed decision around the income and the expenses. And you can see our generative AI capabilities using AWS model for getting the accurate information from the LLM. So this is great. I do want to add some business logic because I want to cap this loan application to be automated approval up to a certain amount. If it's beyond 5 million, I want human in the loop. So let's leverage our AI assistant from out of the box from Launchpad, and teams are working greatly on these capabilities. As you can see, there's a new look and feel, and we are very excited, and it will be coming very shortly. The AI assistant that I was referring is more conversational. It can help me build the business logic just in a few minutes. So I'm going to add a step in my assessment stage so that the home loan approval is routed to human if it exceeds the amount that I just articulated. So I'm going to start asking it to configure the system so that the loan request exceeding 5 million triggers a requirement for home loan and see how it can assist. So what's happening behind the scene? We are sending this information, this prompt to the LLM. It's applying Launchpad's all the best practices. It understands the data model. It knows the concept, the context. It knows the application, where you are. And it exactly understands, it's applying some of the vibe coding principles, but we are actually doing a vibe development here. As you can see, it is creating the model. It's behind the scene. It's understanding that it needs to create a new step in the assessment stage, and it needs to add a decision rule. So it is generating the model for me. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this. So as you can see, it created a human approval step in the assessment stage. And here is my human approval decision rule that has some fundamental business logic for making the routing decisions. So this is great. And there you go. I have an AI suggestion. Let's look into it. It's asking me to consider using an AWS NOAA Act for this step, as it's advanced data analysis tool, which can help me check comparable prices and ensure the property values are within the range. So I think this is a great option. Jared, can you talk to us a little bit about the AWS Nova Act and how it's fit for this use case?
Yeah, I'd love to. So yeah, Nova Act is basically it's an SDK developer toolkit that allows you to create agents that perform autonomous tasks through web browsers. So things like filling out forms, navigating websites, or extracting data. And if people want to know more, they can look at nova.amazon.com or just do a Google search for Nova Act. And there's examples and things to get started.
Great. Yeah, so that sounds great. I think it's perfectly fit for the use case here that we have. We wanted to fetch the property values and do the content analysis, right? So I'm going to go ahead and ask the AI assistant to integrate this agent step. And this goes back to what I had mentioned earlier in the Agentic workflow capabilities, which allow you to seamlessly integrate an AI agent into your workflow. So it has successfully integrated the agent. If I peek into it, it's a knowledge-based tool type because it's going to give me an analysis, and then I'm using the AWS Nova Act, which is behind the scene is configured to go and fetch the property values. So this is great. My application looks ready to go. At least the home loan case type looks ready to go. And before I asked him to take this live and deploy this application for our subscriber, I do want to test it out. I want to understand how this is going to look for my end user when it's offered in runtime. So we have a right out of the box preview capability where you can preview your application. I have applied a U+ bank as a subscriber theme before I can preview this. So here is what my application will look like when it's offered in the consumer portal. There's the U+ bank is a theme I've applied. As you can see, the home loan application case type is where I am right now. I can start collecting the mortgage application information for Peggy, and this is looking great. I can also see how.
Sorry to jump in. So basically, U+ Bank is essentially a client of the software company that built this product. They've deployed it to U+ Bank. It's embedded in their portal seamlessly as part of their experience, but it's going to leverage all of what you built. And I think what's really cool, and I know you've talked about this, but there was no code. So we're not using AI to write code like many solutions out there. We're using AI to help quickly design a model-driven application, which now allows you to spend your time focused on really the value-driven, features and capabilities of the platform. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think our model-level architecture makes it really easy to integrate the AI-based assisted application development, because what it generates, like rightly you mentioned, it generates a model. It understands a model.
Yeah, and you talked about center out, so I think you're going to tell us a little bit about what that means, right?
Yes.
You're going to show us.
So what I was referring here is that you can offer this in multi-channel experience. You can offer this in mobile. You can offer this in contact center agent, where the conversational agent can create a mortgage case. You can also offer this in the back office. And this is how it looks like if I have to see the visuals on like dashboards, my work list, and the insights into generated homes and loan applications throughout. So
like a loan administrator at U+ Bank is a user of this, obviously, now having more leverage because of AI can manage and process many more mortgages through the process.
That's right. That's right. So my application is good to go. I think I need some help from Tim to take this live and provide it in the hands of subscribers.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Bhavna. I think that was really neat to see. I'm glad that we got to show the people watching this now a sneak peek of the new development experience in Launchpad that's coming very soon. You'll start to see the evolution of this happening in the next weeks and months. And I think it's good. It looks like a great experience. It's gonna be great. So going live here, it's not just about, initially design the app and build it. You're going to be putting an app in production, right? So instead of dealing with code and builds and all the stuff that you might have with other tools, Launchpad itself is a full-fledged enterprise runtime platform as well, right? So Bhavna showed us the AI-driven development. She built an app there using agentic tools able to be used agentically, but also used in different places. So it could be embedded on your subscribers' websites and used by their end users and their customers. But that the same application also can be used by the back office of your subscribers to be able to process and approve things as well, all with the workflows, personas, data types essentially that she had built there. So when we're actually deploying it in runtime, Launchpad as a platform manages everything that normally you would have to deal with. And that's what we want to take off the plate. We want you to focus on the differentiators and outcomes you're looking for, not have to deal with the environments, databases, isolation of data, security, and scaling. Our platform handles all of that for you. And also, as you are going live and you're having your first subscribers start to adopt this, their users are in your application, you're getting feedback, you're seeing how they're using it. We give you a wide range of tools to manage those subscribers. So pushing updates to them automatically, customizing your application for them, be able to see how it's being used. How many outcomes per day are they generating? What's the user load on a typical day? And you can see that across all your subscribers very easily. And, of course, beyond what Bhavna had shown there, she showed a glimpse of building the application and getting it ready. You can very easily in Launchpad without code, create dashboards and insights. She showed that in the preview where the back office employees are able to see an overview of everything going on with the home loans in their application. You're going to want to also probably do some integrations. So beyond using the agentic tools and those great stuff from AWS like Nova Act, you'll be able to, we offer boosters that are pre-built integrations. So whether you need to send out text messages, process payments, you can go on launchpad.io and get a bunch of pre-built capabilities that you can just drop into your application. And of course, you're going to want to add your business logic, decisions, things like that, all without any code, and make it so that your subscribers can really make the application their own. Whether it's as simple as changing the theme and branding of the application, or offering them the ability to customize a whole process within one of your workflows. That's very possible with Launchpad. So, like I said, in terms of monitoring the application, you have your subscribers, they're using the application live. You can look across all your subscribers. We provide a lot of dashboards to be able to see how much work is being processed, how many users are using the system, and you can see this across your apps, across your subscribers, all in one place. Cool. So I'm going to jump right in. So I've deployed this application live here, and this is on Eubank has purchased the app from us as the provider, my fictional provider, and I'm starting a workflow here. So that same home loan workflow that Bhavna had built, we're using it conversationally here. So she showed it in the preview, right, where it was kind of walking the customer interactively through a set of forms. That's an interactive way of using that workflow. But without changing the workflow at all, I was able to use a conversational agent here. And my subscribers and users can actually chat with the application and kick off a new home loan embedded right on the bank's website. So that's awesome.
Hey Tim, quick question. So
yeah.
I would imagine that with this in our center out architecture, that as new capabilities like voice AI and even email, like we're great at doing email. For example, you could have LLM generated emails that could basically do that back and forth. If you've ever bought a house, they keep asking you for more and more documents, right? And so it almost seems like our agentic workflow could kind of go back and forth with the customer and have a conversation that way, or through a chat interface. Is that true?
Yeah, exactly. And again, these workflows, you build a workflow how you want to guide the user through the process, but that guidance could be done conversationally, like you said, and it can also be making decisions and actually executing stuff as well. So whether that's generating emails, processing those, coming back in, it's the same center out workflow where I'm not tying these set of steps to a particular user interface or channel. I can build it and then start to use it in different ways. And you're right, as the platform evolves too, as you said, we're not writing code here, we're not generating code. So as the platform evolves and adds more capabilities, I can just drop those into my existing workflows and just take advantage of them.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
great.
All right, so let's review what happened here with Bhavna and then with me going live with the application. So she started with our generating the app with a simple prompt, which you'll be seeing in the near future as we quickly evolve the development experience. And then she defined and elaborated out her workflows. She focused on the home loan, like the requesting a home loan workflow, but that app really was generated as a full end-to-end application for back office, for your subscribers and users, for all the different personas that would need to deal with the home loan ecosystem. But she was able to add things to it. She dropped in Nova Act, there was use of document AI, and being able to call out to those as the workflow is progressing was very simple in the development environment. And then she tried it out, right? So as a developer, she was able to say, all right, I think this is what I need to get started with this application. And she was able to preview it without having to go through deployments and infrastructure and all the stuff that we take off your plate. She was able to preview it and try it out interactively. I was able to show it conversationally as well. And she also showed what it would look like for the back office employees at your customers as they use the application as well. And then we took it live. As I showed you, we were able to monitor it. We embedded it into a bank website, and people were able to actually interact with the workflow that she built with a conversational agent and chat with it and get started on a home loan. So that's it.
That's awesome. Thank
Cool.
you, Tim. That's great.
I'll pass it back to you.
All right. Thank you. All right, so just to wrap up, so really, I think, as I mentioned at the front end, the opportunity here, because we're sitting here in September, I'm sure many of you are trying to sprint to close out a strong 2025, but also planning for 2026, and really looking at probably AI and agentic and trying to figure out where you go with that. One thing I wanted to highlight is that I think that hopefully we've demonstrated what we mean by agentic workflow to you today, so you have a better understanding what it is and how you can actually build it and activate it. But I think the key thing that's a differentiator that I took out of today's session is that agentic workflow isn't about one agent. It's about a structured application that basically is predictable in especially kind of enterprise context or regulated industries, and then it can orchestrate multiple agents to go get that work done, right? And so there's a great opportunity for you to come along with us, help build out these products, deliver greater value for your clients. And so what I see is the call to action is really, go sign up for our free Launchpad Explore, start using Launchpad Blueprint, which is our AI development tool, to basically prototype your application and start to understand and see that preview of your application. Then, move into building out your full application like we demonstrated today, and then really get in a place that, within the next, 90 days or so, you're in a place where you can be launching a new product that's going to drive dramatic revenue within 2026. I would start with selling that product to existing clients, validate it, improve it, iterate it, and then as you move into Q2 and beyond, really go for a broader go-to-market and broaden out the capabilities of the product based on feedback in the market. So this is kind of a roadmap to kind of how we get to helping you build an app and turning it into revenue next year. If you want to discuss any of this, feel free to reach out to any of us. Message me, email me, and we'd be happy to engage in a hands-on way to help you get there and achieve your goals. So before we wrap up, I'm just going to highlight a couple upcoming events. So October 23rd, we've got another webinar coming up, basically called Simple AI Patterns to Expand Revenue in 2026. And so we've got, there was a blog post that recently went up that Tim had done, which was basically an example of building a conversational application within about 15 minutes on Launchpad. And so we're going to go through some patterns and show you some things that are quick wins, which is pretty awesome. And then we've got another What's New session coming up. We do these pretty much every month. So October 16th, we'll be talking about all the new stuff that is coming out over the coming weeks and highlight those. So hope to see you there as well. And with that, let's roll into the questions. Lana, do you want to help me go through them?
Yes, absolutely. So we talked a little bit about implementing agents safely. Bhavna, so maybe you want to take this one. How do you build a simple prototype where trust in the system is built so that autonomy can be implemented safely?
Sure. Yeah. So I think the main fundamental concept here is that with Launchpad, we orient the agents towards the work and the outcome. And then you can have the autonomy within that work and the outcome that you want to achieve by integrating it into your end-to-end workflow, right? Where the outcome is going to be more predictable, but then you're also allowing it to learn, self-correct, and respond proactively, like in the conversational experience Tim just showed. I think the simplest use cases are like for doc analysis, research, or you can also achieve it for recommendations and suggestions. I think those are more like self-autonomous tasks that you can achieve by integrating into your existing workflows.
Cool. Thank you. Jason, do we have any sandbox of Launchpad development environment for partners for playing and finding more about platform's AI capabilities?
Sure. So easiest way is to just go to launchpad.io, sign up for Explore. You get full access to Launchpad Blueprint, the unit estimator. So that gives software companies and user Launchpad to just get a quick understanding of, they can use our, GenAI Blueprint to design prototype. That'll give you a good understanding of the capabilities of the platform. You can also estimate the units. And then at that point, you'd sign up for a paid subscription. And our paid subscription is $900 a month, and basically gives you 5 million Launchpad units per month, and it gives you 10 hours of support from our provider success team, really hands-on. So we have a very high-touch model, and so it's not really like a kind of get in there and just play around. It's like we're going to be mission-oriented and help you get to your first app and do that quickly. And we've got a very fast and quick playbook to do that. And the nice thing is that you're not locked into a long-term contract, so there's very little risk. But there's a huge value opportunity to build a product, and we're looking for people who are serious about doing that.
Great. Sounds pretty simple. Bhavna, will an existing Launchpad application be able to take advantage of the upcoming agentic capabilities?
Absolutely. There's no limit around it being limited to new workflows only. With your existing workflows, you can integrate the agents seamlessly.
Awesome. And Bhavna, I think this one for you as well. When will I be able to start seeing this new development look and feel? It's awesome. People are loving it. I'm seeing several comments here. Great progress, great UI.
Yeah, that's exciting for us as well. And I can tell you the teams are working really hard at it. They're constantly making the visual updates, bringing some of these great AI assistant capabilities as well. And the new look and feel will be coming very soon, but we will continue to iterate over the AI assistant and the development assistant capabilities. Like Jason mentioned, there's a lot to do.
Awesome. Jared, I have a quick question. Where can I get more information on AWS Nova Act? Jared or Tim?
Yeah, the easiest thing is probably just to do a quick Google search for Nova, or use your favorite search engine, say Nova Act. I think it's nova.amazon.com, and you can sign up and you can do you can get an API key and get started for free.
Awesome. Thank you. I think I ran through most of the questions. Frank, do you see any other?
Nope, I think that's all of them.
Great. That was fantastic. Well, we had a great turnout, and hopefully folks get a lot of value out of today's session. Again, if there's questions or you want to just have a conversation to better understand, kind of, your unique situation and how we might be able to help, we're happy to do that. And, we're here to help you go grow your business. And so that's what it's all about. So we look forward to meeting with you soon. And with that, we'll wrap up, and we'll let you know when the recording is posted, so you can share that out with your wider audience. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. And I'm seeing a few questions come in last moment, so
Okay.
I can follow up on those via email.
Great, perfect.
Follow up then, and I will share the link for webinar signups as well.
Perfect.
I saw the comments. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.